Cześć, tutaj Orina. Zapraszam Was do Wspólnej Kuchni. W podcaście będziemy poznawać potrawy, smaki, nie tylko regionalnych potraw z różnych części świata, ale przede wszystkim tradycję, która za nimi stoi. Ze względu na to, że goście podcastu pochodzą z różnych części świata, a ich obecność w Polsce związana jest z doświadczeniem uchodźstwa, nie wszystkie odcinki będą nagrywane w języku polskim. Te odcinki nagrywane w języku angielskim będą opublikowane na YouTubie razem z napisami. Projekt Wspólnej Kuchni realizowany jest przez kolektyw Galas w ramach rezydencji w Zamku Ujazdowskim w Warszawie. Są to warsztaty kulinarne, podczas których uczymy się przyrządzać potrawy, wymieniać się historiami, rozwijać wzajemną empatię i podtrzymywać naszą zbiorową pamięć diasporyczną i lokalną, by tworzyć porozumienie, które buduje solidarność. Projekt realizowany jest też razem z naszą Fundacją Małgosi Braunek-Bądź. Cześć, tutaj Orina. Zapraszam Was do Wspólnej Kuchni. So, welcome to Communal Kitchen podcast. And welcome Amsal Faizi, who's my first guest and our first guest. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Amsal, let me introduce you first.
Sure.
So, you came to Poland 3 years ago.
Yes, almost 3 years ago.
Yeah, and you come from Afghanistan.
First I was in Pakistan for 1 month, and after that...
You came to Poland?
Yeah.
You were in Afghanistan, you were studying political science and international relationships, and also you were working as an assistant teacher in Afghan-Turk school.
Yeah, there I was working.
Yeah, and after coming to Poland, you were in refugee camp for 2 months.
Yeah, it's true.
And then you started to work in very special place, so Baza Inclusive in Warsaw.
Yes.
That was helping refugees. And now you are working in international school, but also you're currently working for looking for a job, right?
Yeah.
And also you were working to help Afghan refugees in Poland for some time.
Yeah. I was working in Polskim Forum Migracyjnym.
Yes.
That they had a special project for Afghan judges.
Yes.
And also like other Afghan migrants. We were helping them.
Yes. And tell me, because I know that you came to Poland, maybe also before diving into your story more, we are meeting because of the project that we are doing together, and you were our first guest. So we're doing a project with Fundacja Małgosi Braunek-Bądź, with collective Galas, so Vlad and Taras, my dear friends who you also know, and also Zamek Ujazdowski w Warszawie. And you were leading a workshop where you presented your traditional Afghan dish. And we will talk about your tradition, Afghan tradition, and also everything that is like something that you know around the table and creating a culture of eating food and also community.
Yes.
Yeah. So I just wanted to kind of introduce more where we are heading, but like the first question that I would like to ask you is why did you come to Poland and how did it happen? How did it happen?
Yeah. Okay. I left Afghanistan after 3 months of Taliban. The first reason was because I couldn't continue my studies. I stayed in Afghanistan after 3 months of the Taliban, but like day by day the situation was getting tougher for me there, and I decided that I cannot live there anymore. Because not just the right of education, but there were more restrictions every day. The Taliban, they closed the doors of education and work for all the Afghan women.
When did Taliban, when did they come?
It was August of 2022.
Yeah, I remember also these pictures of people trying to flee and to airports completely blocked.
Yes, it's true because actually everyone wanted to escape from Afghanistan. They didn't want to stay there, and for me, to stay on that situation and to accept that the non-educated people are controlling the country and they are taking control of everything, living under their laws and restrictions, it was not easy. So I decided that I should go somewhere, I should continue my studies. I applied for Poland visa, but first I went to Pakistan. I stayed there for 1 month and I got humanitarian visa to Poland. And when I arrived to Poland, as you mentioned, I was in a refugee camp for the first 2 months. Before coming to Poland, I had no idea about refugee camps because it was my first experience and it was really difficult for me. And after that, I moved to Warsaw. I started working in Baza Inclusive. I can say like this place helped me a lot to become more familiar with Polish culture, with the people, and also with other foreigners. Because the place that I was working, I had lots of friends from Afghanistan, and for me it was a bit easier, like more than
to
the
find
first
yourself
months.
in a new place.
A new place, because it's never easy to leave your home, your loved ones, and all your experiences and everything at home, and to live there. I always say that a person should be too brave to leave their country and loved ones and to start everything from zero, because it really needs courage to
Did you have like one thought after these 3 months after the Taliban came? Did you have was it a rapid decision to go? Just okay, I'm gonna leave everything and just rescue myself.
The plan was like this, all my family members, we wanted to leave.
Yes.
Not just us, but lots of the families back in Afghanistan. As I told you about the situation, because the Taliban, they closed the offices. My dad used to work in governmental office, but he couldn't go to job anymore. On that time, I was not working, but before Taliban, I was working. I was just busy with my studies. But the Taliban, they didn't let us for universities anymore. And day by day, as I said, like the rules were changing.
Also your job, they wouldn't let you work?
Yeah, because at the first months, the situation was completely different and nobody actually knew that what's gonna happen. And everybody was thought that maybe the Taliban will start war in Afghanistan, and everybody was afraid of that maybe the civil war among the provinces of Afghanistan will start. And that's why everyone wanted to leave, as I said, it was not easy to stay there anymore. And the reason that I left was because I didn't have any freedom in my country, not just freedom of work and studies, but also freedom of speech. I couldn't raise my voice because I knew if I say something against them, against the Taliban, my life and my loved one's life will be in danger. And I couldn't save myself and also the people around me.
Why did you choose Poland?
I can say that on that time, Poland was my only option. I knew that there was a country by name of Poland, but I didn't have lots of information about it. But Poland was my only option. On that time, it was really difficult to apply for visas to another countries. Even to Iran and Pakistan, it was not easy to apply for visa because the situation was completely different, and the circumstances that they occurred in Afghanistan, it also shocked the neighbors of our countries, and they didn't want to issue visa. When you were applying for a visa, you should apply for months ago. But before Taliban, it was really easy to move to the neighbor countries like Iran, Pakistan, Tajikistan, or other countries. But after coming off the Taliban, it was not easy at all.
Was it a shock when you came to Poland, with culture shock? Also, with everything that we have, so food or traditions, the style of living?
I really respect cultures of other countries, and I know every country has their own characteristics and also their own cultures. But the point is for me, because I grew up in a community in a country that the women, they did not have lots of freedoms in anything. We were working, the woman. they had like jobs. They were working in different positions in Afghanistan. But for me, it was really interesting when I see like the women in Poland. Everyone is busy and like they're working same as the men, and there are no like injustice. And the people are also supporting them, because before coming of the Taliban, the women that they were working, they were active. They really wanted to take part in everything, but also there were some restrictions from the society. They couldn't like do whatever they want. But after coming off the Taliban, so for sure it was really tough. But when I see like the women in Poland that they're working, they're busy on their own lives, or they're living alone, it's really interesting, because in Afghanistan, nobody is living alone.
Yeah, I'll ask you about it in a second.
Yeah. And for me, being here at the beginning was not easy. I didn't like the food at all because like the food that I had in Afghanistan was mixed with different spices, and it was completely taste different than here, I can say.
So we met at a workshop that I mentioned already, and you cooked your very traditional dish.
Yeah.
Can you say again the name, because I
Afghan Burani badnjan.
Badnjan. Okay, what is it?
This is we can serve it as a main dish or as a side dish. I choose this food on this workshop because I knew lots of the people in Poland, they are vegan or vegetarian. So this was, I think, the good thing that I chose. And in Afghanistan, normally you're serving this with bread or with rice. And most of the people, they really like this food. Normally it is like we fry this, like the slice of eggplant deep fried in oil, and also you are having it with tomato sauce, and on top a thick yogurt. And it can be a choice, but we are using also dry mint like on top of that. And most of the people, they like to have it spicy, or the rest they want to have it just like normal. So it was like Afghan Burani badnjan.
Is it hot or cold served?
Hot. In Afghanistan, usually we are serving, the dishes warm. When I came to Poland, like the place that I was working, when we were serving the people food, it doesn't really matter for them that it's cold or warm. But for us, like I can say, it really matters because normally we are having like our dishes warm, not cold.
Why does it matter, do you think?
Because, we have different tastes in Afghanistan, and like our traditional foods. And normally, like in Afghanistan, people, they really care about the food because in a family, that you're living in a family, you should always have the lunch and dinner together. And there should be always like something like cooked, not just a sandwich or something.
Yeah.
And all the family members are having food together. And normally it's okay, like sometimes the people are working outside and they cannot be present on lunch, but like they should be present on dinner. Like you should have the food all together in a family.
This is what I thought actually, because I think having cold or warm or whatever food really comes together with this culture of speed and such a fast living. So you end up eating whatever and whenever. And I think in these big cities or cultures that are very isolated, where you don't need to spend time together, which is also freedom, which is it's a free choice, but still, everything has its pluses and minuses. And I think of what you are saying, this is what comes to my mind, that warm food is also has to be prepared before. So it takes time and quality and also intention for you to serve food for a table and to have special time for it. And for someone, to share it with someone.
And you should always cook with love, you know. You say like everything that is made with love, with heart, it always tastes better. And for sure, like maybe you had the experience when you're having food alone, it doesn't really taste that good as you're like having it with a group of friends or a community. Like on that workshops, like it was really interesting for me when I see like all the people from around the world, not just Poland, for example, Afghans, Chechenian, and also Ukrainians. We were all having the food in one table, which was really interesting.
Yeah.
And we were all having food together.
It was very delicious.
Yeah.
Very delicious.
Thank you. But it was really good. For me, it's I prefer to have food with my friends, here actually, because my family is not here with me. But when I was in Afghanistan, I always like preferred to have food together with my family members. But here, like, I really doesn't really enjoy the food as much as I was enjoying in Afghanistan.
But do you create your own community here? So to share food with your friends or with your brother who you are with here?
Actually, yes, there are some Afghan community that sometimes we are having parties, like Afghan parties. They're inviting everybody to their place and we are all having food together, like the girls. It's really interesting. And this is what in Poland that it reminds me of Afghanistan. Because we used to have lots of parties in Afghanistan, and in Afghanistan the off day was Friday, and we were inviting our uncles, our aunts, and my cousins. We were all together. We were like having food together.
So what would be the food of your Friday in Afghanistan?
You know, normally when there are guests at your place, you should cook like at least 4 types of food, I can say. But
so how many people would it be at your table?
You know, like the numbers of families are more in Afghanistan. It depends on the families. For example, a family has 4 children, another family has like 10. Another has 8. Normally, like the number of family members in Afghanistan is more than here. And like everybody is coming to your place and you're preparing food. Normally, my mom was the one who was telling me about the measurements, like how much rice should I cook, or how much meat do we need, or how much eggplant. Like whatever, because like the Afghan traditional food is qabli pulao.
What is it?
Which is made of rice, meat, raisins, and carrots. This it tastes really good, and it has like.
Is it baked or is it fried?
No, like normally
Cooked?
First you're putting like the meat with some onions and some spices in a pressure cooker. Just let the meat to get soft, and after that, like you're adding the rice on it, and like you're frying the carrots and raisins. But you know, like the people in Afghanistan, I can say like most of the people, they have their own recipes. Like it's changing from province to province. Like it's the same food but with different recipes. And sometimes like there is a province in Afghanistan, Mazar Sharif, like the way that they're cooking qabli pulao, it's really tasty. It's really tasty. And also we have a Burani, which is I can say Afghan vegetarian or vegan dish, because you know in Afghanistan I had no idea about being vegan or vegetarian. It was okay. Like some people, they didn't want to eat meat, but they were eating.
But there was no labeling that someone is this, someone is that. It's just like.
But they were having.
Is it when you have on the table everything, you can choose whatever you want to eat?
Yes.
Or you like traditionally, like you should eat everything, a little bit of everything, or you kind of like you have different options, and then you kind of design your own plate.
Like as I said, like normally we are cooking different types of food, and we are like putting this on table, and everybody has their own choice, like what they want to have or what they really want to enjoy first. And for example, some people they don't want to eat rice, but there are other options for them. And like it is not important that you should just have one type of food. Like you can taste all, you can have it all. But normally, like when we are having rice, we should have something on top of that, like meatballs or meat or that Afghan Burani badnjan or like different kinds of the things that we are making. I mean, like the food, as I mentioned, like the meatballs or anything, but you can never have like rice alone. You should have something on top.
And what about spices?
You know, the spices in Afghanistan, like I can say about, like normally we are using the same spices that all the spices that were in Afghanistan, I can find it here. But you know, it is the way that you're cooking it, the way that you're adding, because normally...
So how do you do?
Normally in Poland, I see the people that normally they are just like, they're eating healthier than us. But we prefer to fry everything or to have it more spicy with different spices to add to the taste. But in here, people are eating healthier than us, I can say. But our food tastes better.
Yeah, deep fried.
Unhealthy.
Yeah, I love the eggplant, the deep fried eggplant.
It was really good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
I have to say it was really good.
I mean, like I have.
But you mentioned something about about herbs, and also you had it right on the workshop. Dry mint is something that we even talked before coming to the studio. That this is something very, very typical for Afghan kitchen.
Yeah. I mean, for example, when you're having this Afghan Burani badnjan, or you're having dumplings, or there is another vegetarian dish like oshak.
What is it?
This is kind of like dumplings, but we are like inside this with leek that you have in Poland. Por. Yeah, we are putting this inside, and on top, like when we are adding like yogurt and some sauce on top. Always
yogurt, right? Is very popular.
Yeah.
You said there is no cheese around Afghanistan so much.
There is, but the people they're having cheese like in breakfast or something, but it's not that popular. For example, you know, like everything has different way of cooking, different recipes. But normally, no. Like normally, you're not using cheese like on food a lot. Yeah. I mean, like normally the people, they are having their recipes, but like cheese is not the main thing to add in everything. I see lots of the people here that when they are making pastas or even eggplant, they are always adding cheese on top.
Yeah.
It can be an option for sure, but normally the people there, no, they're not using it on food, but they can have it for sure in breakfast or... because in breakfast, like normally we are having cheese, butter, milk, this stuff, and lots of the time homemade.
Fruits?
Fruits, like not so much.
Deep fried fruits.
No, I mean you can have fruits if you want to eat healthier, but I mean normally we are having eggs in the morning. Eggs, and we call tohm badnjan rumi. This is eggs with tomatoes and some garlic. I think it's kind of like shakshuka. Yeah.
So it's also cooked or steamed.
Yeah. Yeah, normally this, but not choose like cheese as a main part of the food.
Who told you? Who taught you how to cook?
You know, I was always looking at my mom, the way that she was cooking. And I was, at the beginning, when I start cooking, I was asking her mom, how much should I use this or that? And she was the one who was telling me for some times. And after that, I learned by myself. And even now when... for sure, like everyone is like having their own recipes, but I'm also watching some videos on YouTube, like 4 or 5. I'm just like checking on different recipes, like how the people are cooking.
But do you get inspired also by different different cultures and different kind of kitchens, or do you prefer to stay with and develop your Afghan cooking?
You know, like there are the people that they really want to learn about more cultures and how they're cooking. I like that. I like to try the food from different countries and to see like what the people are, the way that they are cooking, what are their favorite dishes or what are like their main dishes. Normally I like that, but I also want like to be more like into Afghan foods. But I also like to try the food from other countries as well.
It is about a little bit like about traveling, that you can actually travel with tastes and with smells and with and find yourself and learn something from another culture.
Yeah, you know, like beside Afghan food, I can say like Indian food is also my favorite. I really like Indian food. I also tried like Thai food. It's really good. I really like that. And
Polish food?
Polish food, I tried like the tomato soup, the cucumber soup. They were actually taste really good for me. I like the taste, and you know, when I'm in Poland, for sure I don't have like more options, but I like also some Polish food, and it's also different from the place to place that how they're making.
Yeah. It's fascinating because it's like different. You know, every family has their own, or family, or I don't know, community has its own way of preparing food. And for example, I remember if we have, I don't know, there's Christmas in Poland, and there's always borscht. Borscht that is like typical. It has to be on the table, probably in every home. Christmas, there is a borscht.
I tried that and I also like it.
But I have to tell you that it's amazing. Is each time it's different when you taste it from another person or another family.
Yeah.
And it can be a completely different dish, but the base is the same. But then there's like freedom of, I don't know, either of a choice or
the spices.
Spices that you use, but also there's I remember at my home I had this I'm not a really good cook actually, to be honest. But I do have this like book of recipes from my mom.
Yes.
And my mom she took it from my grandma. So I do remember some really like memories that are being stuck in my mind, connected to these traditions that my grandma, for example, she used to do this piernik. Piernik is what's it called, like a gingerbread for Christmas, and she used to do it like 1 month before Christmas, and so the cooking would start 1 month before. And I remember always like having these smells like of already 1 month before, and then it was growing, like this atmosphere of Christmas was growing in me. Also, there's like a special tart that my mom would do with mushrooms. So I think like food can be really amazing for, it's like, it's a language that unifies, you know, that you don't need to say anything else, but you just find yourself first preserving something from your family or from your friends or community. But on the other hand, it just lets you like experience something together.
Yeah, it's true. And you know, most of the time, like now I can say like the way that people are cooking, it's becoming like day by day more professional.
Yeah.
But like when you're tasting the food from grandmas, like it's completely different. Because I saw lots of the people here in Poland, like the grandmas, they are having like hundreds of jars with pickles, with garlic, like with different stuff. And like they're keeping this for so long and they're like trying it.
You know, I have this memory also from my grandma that she did these pickled pears. In some sort of, I don't know, it wasn't a spirit, but something else. It wasn't alcohol, but so something that preserved these pears.
Yeah.
And it was like she did it before I was born, so in 1986, and we had like for years, I don't know, 30 years, we still had it for Christmas. So we would open these up, like because she did a lot of jars. So each year we would take, and there was like, it was actually almost sugar by years. It was like the pears would pickled in a very, very specific way, and I remember the taste. It was so strong.
Yeah. And
but it was
a really long time ago.
Very long time. Yeah, I don't think we have it anymore. It's gone. But then, you know, do you have such things and such memories with connected to your like family table that are connected to your grandma or connected to someone from, you know, from your childhood or your past?
Yeah, I can say like, yeah, like the grandmas, they were like normally making some stuff, you know, but we are not keeping for that long.
Yeah, I think it was very special. I don't think usually
because like normally we are not keeping this stuff for that long time because we will say like, no, it will not taste that good, and it will be expired soon or something. But normally, grandmas like they were making, you know. Actually, I can say like when the daughters in a family, they're getting older, they're not letting the mom to cook anymore.
Really?
Yeah. When like you have 2 or 4 daughters, like you shouldn't work anymore because like they will work and they will not let you to work or something.
What is the age when you take over in the kitchen?
It is like different from family to family, but I can say like normally 16 or 18. I was at last year of my high school, I think, when I started cooking. Yeah, before that I didn't know too much about it, but you know, like because like I grew up in a way that I was always seeing my mom that she was cooking, and I wanted to take over that. Mom, can I do this? And they like she was not letting me because I was not ready, maybe, or I couldn't make it better. But I was.
Do you like to cook?
It depends. It depends. Like sometimes, but like when it's becoming like an everyday job, no. But normally,
so
when it's
like for special occasions.
Yeah, I like when I'm cooking after a really long time. Even now, when I'm going to my parents, I really like to cook for them, and they're also like feeling happy when I'm cooking for them. But now, you know, like I become more busy with outside world, like working and. But so now I'm not studying, but like actually when I came to Poland at the first years, I was working and studying. I didn't have time even to eat at home.
Yeah.
Because it was really tough for me to manage everything, like my studies, work, and cooking. Normally I was like taking something from outside. Yeah. But now when I'm at home, like some weekends or sometimes when I'm coming from work, I'm doing some cookings, but not too much. So
what would be in Afghanistan, what would be a special occasion to have really to prepare food? Like I told you of Christmas here, or, you know, sometimes it's a dinner that you throw, or you invite people for over.
Yeah. Maybe in here I could say as, I don't know, kind of like a similarity between Poland and Afghanistan. Maybe if I connect this, I see the people that they are getting together here in Christmas, like the family members, they're the cousins or the siblings. They are going to the parents or grandparents. They are all having food together. But in Afghanistan, it's not just about the occasions, you know, like we have. Like you can have these kind of gatherings 3 times even in a month. Like every week. at the end of the week. For example, like this, as I mentioned, like the off day in Afghanistan is Friday. Like we are cooking different foods, and my cousins are coming to my place, my uncles, my aunts from both sides. And like the next week, we are going to another family, like to my another uncle, and everyone is like getting together there, and we are having food together. But you know, like also we have occasions like on.
Is it not sometimes? Sorry to interrupt, but is it not sometimes for you like a burden that you have to do it?
Sometimes it can be. Why not? Sometimes it is. Like you say, like, oh my God, who will cook? Who will do this? But
or I want to do something else.
Yeah,
I want to. I don't know. I want to stay home and I want to do my own thing.
But you know, it's for sure. Like you're saying, like this, but. This is like kind of our culture, but and some things that we really also like enjoying from this, but sometimes for sure like you're getting tired of this.
What do you think it brings? Like what do you think it gives, or what does it help with?
You know, I can say that these were these kind of days that I had in Afghanistan. Now I know the value. Now I know the value of that gatherings, like everything for sure. Like when the elders are talking, like I learned a lot. I learned a lot when my dad was talking with my uncles or my mom with my aunts, or like I have elder cousins. Like when they were talking, for sure, I can say it's like a quality time. That you're learning a lot, and also you're becoming aware of everything. You know more about your relatives. When I was there, when my dad was like telling me about the names of some relatives, I was asking, Dad, I don't know who is this person or who's that person. But like, you know, they were all the time explaining for me. It's always good to have such kind of gatherings, not just like to have food, not just to drink tea, but to spend some quality time together, to know the value and to bring a connection. Like it's always, I think, better to have connections with the loved ones. In Afghanistan, I really love the way that the people are connected together. For me, it's really difficult to live here without my family. It's not easy for me. I prefer to live with them all my life instead of living alone. Because in Afghanistan, nobody is living alone, actually, I can say that. Nobody is living alone until the time that they're getting married. And even some people, after married, they are deciding to stay with the family, or some people, they want to move out. But it's always interesting. It has the problems, for sure, when you're after married, like when you're living with the family. For sure, there's all the time problems in all the families. But I mean, like before like getting married or something, it's always nice to stay with the parents.
What if you, I don't know, what if you have different plans for yourself? Can you?
Like you can, but you don't want, you know. Actually, I have never seen somebody in Afghanistan to tell me that I want to move to another place, or I want to live alone. I have never heard such a thing from a person in Afghanistan. Like everybody is all the time preferring to live with the families. For sure, maybe some people they want, but because they don't have the experience they want, but once they are getting that experience, they are saying no, living with them or living in a family is much better than living alone. For example, now I'm living alone. I become more independent. I'm working for myself. I'm earning money, and I am like paying all the expenses that I'm responsible for.
Yeah.
I'm not asking my parents anymore for that.
Yes.
Maybe it is good for my own growth. Maybe this will be good for my own future. But this is something that I didn't have to do all these things in Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, I didn't know like how much is the price of like the groceries, because mom and dad was responsible for that. Or I didn't know how much is the income of my dad. I was just going to the shop, and I was just going to do some shoppings to buy some stuff for myself or clothes. I think mom was responsible for that. My mom to pay for everything.
But at some point, you have to then take responsibility, right? Because then, I guess, when you grow, when you have...
Yes.
Yeah, you just become... Suddenly, you move and you become...
Yeah.
This elder person.
I mean, like, until some time, the parents are working. And after that, like, when they're not working anymore, the children are responsible to pay for everything, not the parents anymore. Because, like, you're studying, and after, when you're graduating, for sure you're looking for a job. And when you're, like, earning a good salary, you're responsible for the payments. I mean, like, it's like a changing thing, I can say. At the beginning, like, parents are responsible for everything, and after that, you.
Yeah. You said already something I wanted to ask you. Like, what was most surprising for you when you moved to Poland, or something that really changed for you? But you already said that you suddenly had to live on your own, and everything changed.
Everything changed, you know. As I said, I never had the experience of living alone. But after arriving to Poland, like when me and my brother, we both start working, there were the nights that he was at work and I had to stay alone at home. At the beginning, it was something really scary for me. I was scared of living alone or sleeping alone when there was nobody.
Are you now?
Kind of. Even after 3 years, honestly, I always say, like, living alone is not easy. For example, I can give an example. If a Polish person will move to a country that he or she doesn't know anybody, they're not familiar with the culture, not with the language or anything, for sure it's difficult for them to live there. Maybe not to sleep alone or to eat alone or something, but, like, they always find themselves that they are not part of this community. Because it's not easy to be in a country that you don't have anybody, and there is no one to help you or support you, like, when you want. But I can say at the first years of, like, being here, I mean, like, the first and second year, I had, like, really great people around me, like Polish people, that they really helped me. Even until now, I'm really grateful for them. And I always say, like, the reason that why I could manage everything and everything that worked out for me, it's because the support that I had from them. I'm in contact with them even now. And whenever, like, I'm finding myself in a problem, they are the only ones that I'm, like, start texting to them, even if I'm not talking with them for a month, because I know they are busy and I have my own busy life. But still, when something is happening to me, they are the first people that they know about me, and they never refused. I say, like, you know, the good and bad people are all around the world. But there are people in Poland that I can call them angels. They're really, really, really nice. And I am always grateful for them. They were the ones that they helped me in everything. And finding jobs, continuing of my studies, and, like, so many other issues.
This is a communal kitchen, actually.
Yeah. You know, sometimes there are the issues when the guests are coming, like, unexpectedly. And for sure, like, the meat should be there.
Really?
Yeah. And, you know...
and what about like tea or something?
Yeah.
And what kind of tea do you do?
Green tea and black tea normally. In Afghanistan... for sure, like, the food plays the main part, and it's really important, but tea also, like, play the key role. I can say, like, when you're having food, before and after that, you should always have tea.
Before food and after food?
Yeah. There are some guests, like, for example, they are coming after lunch and they don't want to stay for dinner.
Yeah.
You're always like treating them with some tea, and there should be dry fruits, cookies, cake.
What kind of dry fruits?
Like nuts, and also raisins, like different kinds of nuts.
Dried figs? Dates?
Like it can be, but normally like you have, in Afghanistan, like you can find like different types of dry fruits.
I love dried fruits.
Yeah, they're really good, and it's expensive.
Here? In Poland, very expensive.
The same even in Afghanistan, because lots of the countries that they are having like the business of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they're like exporting.
But is there a lot of street food?
Yeah, in Afghanistan.
Because this is what I love when I travel. When you go and you just see the food outside on the street and you can choose.
The Afghan street food. This is the thing that I'm missing in Poland. In Afghanistan, for example, if you're going to a school, to a university or a place of work or any office, when you're coming out, you have options, like more than 10 options of the street food, like the fries, this Burani, or
what is
burgers.
What is it, this Burani?
Burani is like deep fried. Like inside it can be potatoes, pumpkins, or leek or pork.
But it's wrapped in like what's it called, like flour?
Yeah.
So it's like a deep fried sandwich, actually. So this is a similarity. We find this sandwiches, like Poland stands on sandwiches, really. Like we love sandwiches, but we never deep fry them, though.
Yeah, it can be like that. I will show you the photo later. Like you have.
Can you say the name again?
Burani.
Burani.
Yeah,
okay.
You should try that.
Wow.
It's really good.
But I can imagine the smells though when you
because the place that I was working, Baza Inclusive.
Yes.
Polish people, they were just coming and asking, "Do you have Burani?"
Really?
Today? Because it was not part of the.
Did you make Burani?
Like
in Baza?
Yeah, we had. Like we mixed like the Polish food, Ukrainian food mixed with Afghan.
Oh, amazing.
And the people, they were really happy about that. And they were really interested in our menu. Like, it was really good.
I want to ask you, so like if I could take something from our talk today and I wanted to do something at home, small, but Afghan, what would it be? Like, could you tell me how to make something very simple?
Yeah.
Like easy, but it would give the taste of Afghan food.
You talked about sandwich. The sandwich is taking really less time, but the Burani, it takes a lot of time. First, you should make the dough. And after that, you should leave it for some time to get ready. And after that, you should make the ingredients. Like you should, if you want to make it from potatoes, first you should boil the potatoes, and you should add some spices on it. And
what kind of spices?
Like black pepper, salt, and also you can have your own options, like what you want to put inside, or if you want to have it with leek. First, you should cut the.
But is Afghan food like spicy, as you said? You like spicy food, right? But
I like, but not too much. Like lots of the Afghan people, they are not
using a lot of
fan of spicy food, but it's always there. But normally, it can be like 50-50. Like 50% of the Afghan people, they like to have a spicy food, and the 50% maybe they doesn't like it. But for me,
so it's a term of choice.
Yeah. Like a difference from a person to another person.
I want to, for the end of our talk, I want to ask you, because we started with the question, why did you flee Afghanistan? And you said about the situation of women in Afghanistan and generally social situation. What's going on. And I wanted to ask you, would you want to go, first of all, like what would have to change for you to go back? Would you like to go back to Afghanistan? And also a very important question, I think, for me. Is there anything that we could do here in Poland to help?
Okay, like coming to your first question, that do I want to go back to Afghanistan, yes or no? I really want to go back there, but not at the current situation.
Yeah.
For me, to be honest, it's really difficult to tolerate what the Taliban are doing now.
Yeah.
I can feel what now the Afghan girl and woman are going through. Not just them, but the all like generation. They're like all the people in Afghanistan, even the men. It's not easy for them to be there and not to work. Just before coming of the Taliban,
not to have education also, because now after 6th grade you cannot go more higher with education.
Because before coming of the Taliban, there were the offices that the men and women both were working there, but now everybody is jobless.
Yeah.
Like those people that they had really high positions in government, now they are just sitting at home. There is nothing for them to do. But at current situation of like, the situation is tough for everybody, but especially for men and women, because the girls in Afghanistan are not allowed to go outside without a man, whom they should take every day with themselves. This is completely
it's insane.
Like out of the people, like knowledge. How they can believe this, how they can tolerate to go through all this, that the restrictions are Taliban.
Is there there any resistance? Is there any underground movement?
There are, but nobody can share this, because the fear from the Taliban. Even like the current situation in Afghanistan, the people cannot talk about this. They cannot share it. Even when I'm talking with my families back in Afghanistan, they cannot really explain what's going on there because they have fear. The Taliban have control of everything. Mm-hmm. It's really tough for them to share the exact news there. And also like, I can say, everyone wants to escape from Afghanistan, and day by day the life of the woman is in danger.
Yeah.
And nobody knows what's going to happen to them. Just think like we are all living in a world that everybody completely knows about their right. How tough it would be when you're knowing about your rights, that what are your rights, what you should do, but you cannot just like ask for it. You know that you're under like the control of uneducated people, that they are not accepting anything. I can call them the most wild people. Even they don't have a heart. They don't know how to act in the society. Even they don't know how to dress up. How they are the ones that they are telling the Afghan women that how they should dress up. The women there, they don't have any problem the rules that the Taliban are putting for them. Like they have problems, but it's okay for them. They just want to have the right of education and work. But it's not allowed. Like they cannot say anything. They cannot raise their voice for their rights, because like not just their lives, but the life of their families will be also in danger. But for me, like...
Is there any movement, maybe not even based in Afghanistan, but somewhere else abroad that helps?
Since the time that I remember when I left Afghanistan, I came to Poland here, I was like watching videos on Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. Like everyone is saying that we're gonna support the Afghan women, but now it's 3 years. In 3 years, they couldn't do anything. There are some groups that they are like, for example, they are saying that we will provide visas for them and we will take them out of Afghanistan. But it is just for a number of people that they know that they have contact about it. For example, there are my friends that I know that they are really talented. They were working on media before, and now they're really trying hard to come out from Afghanistan, but they cannot. I have lots of friends that they are in Afghanistan and they are searching about the ways that how they can go and how they can ask other countries to help them.
Yeah.
There's always sayings from other people that we will help the Afghan women, we will issue them the visas, they can come and apply for asylum, but it's not working. Even they cannot, as I said, they cannot go to Pakistan.
Yeah.
They should apply for visa, and that will take a really long time, and they need a lot of money to do that. And now Afghanistan is day by day going to poverty.
Yeah.
And it's really tough for the people to find the money to even solve their daily basis problems and needs. for sure it's really tough for them to apply for a visa and to take all the costs and to pay for everything.
Can I ask you at the end, like, what helps you most, like, on your daily life here? Because you were saying of this big change that you experienced by living on your own, by starting new life, by getting to know a culture greatly with angels on the way and people that you met on the way. But, you know, like taking care of yourself is a priority for all of us, right? So we have to learn how to do it. Do you have anything that helps you on daily basis?
At the beginning, it was really difficult for me to accept the situation. But now, like, the most important thing that helped me is that I accept the situation the way it is. I cannot change it. Why I should put all my focus to it? I just like...
Yeah, absolutely.
Put it out of my mind.
Yeah.
And I accept
it is what it is.
Yeah. I just accept this reality.
Yeah.
That I'm not in my country. I'm not living with my parents anymore. I'm responsible for everything.
Yeah.
I should fight for my dreams, and I know that I should never give up. It's okay to take a break from everything, but I don't want that being a refugee or a migrant be an excuse for me to stop me from my dreams. And every day I really love enjoying and reading books. I love to read books about different issues. You know, when I am
What is
reading
your favorite
books,
book?
I just finished The Secret. It changed me a lot, you know, because while reading this book, I was in a really tough situation. I mentioned to you about like my dad, that he had cancer. I can say like while I was reading that book, it was giving me hope to be positive about the situation. And I believe in the power of praying. I did lots of prayers, and even now I'm doing. And reading books, talking with myself, it really helps me. Like every time when I'm with myself.
Do you write also?
I was writing before. I don't have that motivation anymore. But I'm sure one day it will come back and I will start writing my feelings, my emotions. But it's not like now I'm not doing this. Yes, when sometimes I really can't find anything to describe myself with it, I'm just like taking a pen and notebook and I'm like writing whatever is in my mind and in my heart.
Yeah.
And talking with my dad really helps me, you know. Every time I'm like doing something, every single thing or little thing I'm sharing with them, and it supports me in the world to me. And I can say he is the role model of my life. Like he helped me. I learned how to be brave, how to have confidence in every situation, and how to be positive. I learned everything from him. Like I had during the time that my dad was sick, it was really tough for me to see him because my dad was completely a different person before cancer. And now, you know, like why he recovered from this was his own mindset and his own positivity. For me, it was really difficult to see him on hospital and do everything and not to know anybody in a foreign country and you're responsible for everything. It was not easy for me. It was the toughest period of my life. Being new in a country didn't hurt me that much as like the sickness and this cancer of my dad hurt me a lot in my life. It breaks my heart, but I learned something from it. I said like, maybe this is something that I should go through and learn from it.
Is your dad okay? Is your dad
Grateful,
fine?
Yes. He is doing good now. Day by day, he's getting better. And I'm forever grateful that he is with me. And I'm so happy for him. For both my parents. But this situation was not easy for me.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it was really tough.
What are you dreaming about? The last question.
You know, like the dreams can be changed. I can say like
yeah,
when you're
absolutely.
like, for example, 2 years
for now.
For 2 years ago, I had completely different dreams. Now I have different dreams. Now, like the dreams that I have, I really want to become a good person and to learn something from my yesterday, to learn something from the past and to take it as an experience. And I really want to finish my studies. Because I started studies in Afghanistan, I couldn't continue it. I started studies in Poland, I couldn't continue it. But for now, this is not a dream, but I can say my plan.
Yeah.
It's my plan to finish my studies first. I love to finish my studies again in international relations because I love it and I really want to finish that. But my dreams are for sure now like to see my country free. The people that are there, I want to see that the people in Afghanistan have the same rights like other peoples, to live without any fear in their own countries, not to beg for other countries to help us. I just want to see my country free, the women there, and to get rid of the poverty. Because now Afghanistan is like day by day going to poverty and it's really tough. Everybody is like really in tough situation.
Yeah, I'm with you on your dreams.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Amsal, for sharing.
From your time. I say like thank you for the opportunity that you give to me to talk here and to share my story and to have some time to talk about everything. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope that whatever we talked about today not only gives a perspective of the common and communal kitchen and table, because I can see in my mind whatever you were describing, but also the smells and tastes that maybe it will inspire someone to try and to search for Afghani. Can you say again what's the name of the
which one? The food that I made?
The food that you made was
Burani badnjan.
Burani badnjan. And the one that you, the sandwich, the deep fried sandwich.
Bolani. Yeah.
Okay.
I will show you the photos and I will
please.
tell you like the recipes and everything that how to make this food. Yeah, for sure I will tell you. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.